Hello everyone and welcome back to our video cast. I appreciate your watching on a regular basis, and I've had a lot of comments from people as we've worked through things over the last 6 months. And we're here to talk today about the Taxpayer Protection Act. The Taxpayer Protection Act will be voted on the day that I'm taping this here in Harrisburg at the Finance Committee meeting, which I happen to be a member of the Finance Committee. And today we have a very important vote. Well, actually we have two. We're voting on the Taxpayer Protection Act, which would cap spending in Pennsylvania at 3.2%. It's calculated on a formula that combines the average of 3 years of inflation plus the average of 3 years of population growth. This is a very fair process. It's used throughout the country in many other states, and it would allow spending increases this year in the budget of $823 million, which is a sufficient amount to allow our government to keep up with inflation and allow a slight bit of new spending, but not allow the runaway spending that we've seen in the past. If we have had this this act in place for the past 5 or 10 years, we wouldn't have the budget deficits and the problems that we have today. So it's very critical that we act responsibly, that we vote this out of committee this morning, and that we get it to the floor of the Senate and pass it in the Senate and in the House, and that the governor signs this. I have an amendment that I'm offering this morning that will prohibit the legislature from shifting the burden of taxes to the local taxing authorities. My amendment would penalize the state so that if they shifted, let's say, $100 million away from schools that they typically fund now, that are required mandates for the schools, they would lose, the state then would lose $100 million out of their cap. So they would see no benefit in shifting the burden to counties or school districts or municipalities. So we're voting on that separately, and I'm very hopeful this morning that the taxpayers' amendment passes, and then my amendment to the Taxpayers Act passes as well. We're voting on this two ways so that this is clear to everyone that's watching. There is a constitutional amendment, and then there is a statutory act. So we're voting for it two different ways, and my amendment will be voted on two different ways. So stay tuned, watch the news on this, and we're hopeful that we get it out of committee, and then we're going to need everybody's support on the to get the votes on the floor of the Senate. So we need your help to reform Harrisburg. We can't do it alone. We need the people of Pennsylvania to rally and make the phone calls and the emails and the letters, and we'll get the job done. So thank you very much, and we'll talk to you again soon.